What's up, y'all? We're back.
Yeah, man. How y'all doing?
I'm Jared.
I'm Josh. Good to see y'all, as it were.
Yeah, we're hoping you can hear us.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a thunderstorm out
It's
here.
monsoon season in Villa Rica, Georgia.
I had no idea how bad it was. So you go outside and there's like a tin roof above us that's like crazy loud. So anyway, hopefully this is picking up.
We're just gonna yell.
Yeah. Hey!
Hey!
I've been telling you guys for the longest time, all we have to do, forget YouTube likes and subscribes and everything. We can just get Kylie Jenner. For me, if we can get Kylie Jenner to listen to this podcast slash videocast slash YouTube show, we don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
We don't fact check. We don't care.
We don't care.
If we can just get Kylie Jenner to listen to it on her Instagram, we'll be number one.
Number one. With a bullet.
It's that step number 2 between that initial idea and the money-making idea to figure out how do we get there.
Number 2.
So if anybody knows her,
Yeah.
do us a solid.
Yeah. Tell her, look at these idiots.
We'll have plenty of Red's Peach Ale sent out to you.
Limited time only, so get on it. Let her know quick, because we ain't got very much time to send this to her.
For real. It is limited, in case you can't see that. I don't know if you can get these outside of Georgia or not. Maybe we're the test market because everything down there is peach.
Peach everything.
And anything that can be peach should.
Should be, absolutely.
So why not? We'll give these a try.
It's not bad stuff. We decided to do Saturday. It's ridiculous it's raining. I'm sorry about the sound, but we're just talking about a man sent me a text and it's like, man, come watch Nikki Cross tonight. And I'm like, heck yeah, I sure will. So that's pretty. Oh, I didn't mean to bump that, y'all. I'm sorry, guys. That's my fault. Oh, what's it, Daisy?
If I do that, maybe you won't notice.
For real. It's completely normal.
It was really a lackluster pay-per-view tomorrow night. I'll probably end up watching anyway just to see Nakamura and what's that boy name? Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, man.
But tonight was the show that everybody was panning, saying, "Nah, I'm not really looking forward to it." And it turns out being one of the best takeovers they've had ever.
The last two, I guess it's just the new thing now to just crap on Takeover. Makes the last two have been, I don't know. I'm not really feeling this one. I don't really know. And they were both awesome. Tonight was awesome. I enjoyed every single match tonight. I thought all of them were really, really good, man.
But man, that's what was going down tonight. There's been some pretty big stuff happened since the last time we got to sit down and talk to you. Right off the bat, what's your thoughts on Chris Cornell?
I missed it totally. I saw this. I don't even really know how I found out about it, man. But somewhere along the way in one of my feeds somewhere, it said Chris Cornell dead at 52.
Same way I found out about everything is on Facebook.
Yeah. Mine's usually Instagram. Like anytime you start going to Instagram suggestions are terrible, but I do it because I'm an idiot. And if somebody you ain't heard of for a while pops up in 2 out of 6 rows, they're dead. And it sucks, but that's what happened. Is Chris Cornell popped. That's a neat picture of Chris, and it was like 52.
Why else would they be talking about him?
Exactly. With someone you ain't heard about for a while, that's exactly what it is. It's like, yep, there you go. So that's normally where I find out.
And now that a few days have gone by and we know now what really happened, that wasn't where my mind went to when I first found out. Because honestly, when I first heard the news, it's like, well, people are allowed to die at 52. I just thought, well, and I don't think he was that big of a drug guy in the 90s. I'm sure he had his run, just like most everybody did. And, the wear and tear of that could have some effects, but I just thought it was mainly natural causes is what it took him out, and turns out he had a different finish, brother. They decided to hang himself, and I don't think that's always the horror story that people make it out to be either. And I always go back to the Robin Williams thing, where how do you know this guy didn't get some really bad news from the doctor and just decide, you know what, my kids are somewhat grown, had a pretty good run. He was only 10 years away from Robin. Like, you know what, I'm going to decide when this is over. So it's just another way of thinking about it. And when you look back at this over the past couple of years, you have the Scott Weilands and the Lane Staleys and the people like that, when everybody rushes out like, how could we have saved him? Like, don't do that to their family. You don't know what that family was going through and how much they were trying to do to make sure something like this didn't happen. Or I think in this case it caught everybody by surprise. But you know, I think when somebody makes a decision to do something like that, there has to be a reason, and it's not just an accident. So let it be sad, but just remember the good times.
Yeah, man, I'm with Jared on this one. I have an apparently just with having conversations with people, an incredibly different look at calling your own number. I have no problem with it whatsoever. It's just, I mean, that sounds kind of weird or whatever, man, but it's not my life, man. You know what I'm saying? And I feel sad. I feel really bad for his wife because she immediately said it was anxiety medication.
Yeah.
And that might sound kind of kooky if you've never been on anxiety meds or ever researched them. But the thing is, anxiety medication is wonderful for people that need it. Antidepressants are wonderful for people that need them. But
there are times when that heightens the anxiety to a point that you can't deal.
Bipolarity and manic depression are real things. And you cannot, from what I understand in the research I've done, you cannot give a manic depressive antidepressants. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Because mania is its own thing. People don't see it. It's like when people have eating disorders. I overeat all the time. Compulsive overeater, eat my emotions all the time, man. That's why I'm fat. So people can look at me until I have one. You can look at somebody on the other end of the spectrum that has an eating disorder, but they look so good, and you know something's wrong.
They look so nice.
You know something's wrong, but because they look okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a weird thing to get off on, man, but that happens a lot, man.
It makes us feel better if he looked like a druggie. If he looked like
I think so.
somebody
Yeah, when Lane Staley died, everybody was okay with it.
Not a
because
shot.
Lane unfortunately just,
we knew
that horse just trampled him.
That's the story. Where was somebody at?
It's hard. That one's brutal, man. Because you're right. Like if you watch the Unplugged, as soon as he trots out there, you just want to cry. I mean, it is sad.
He's not got long with us.
Yeah, it's sad, man. I totally lost I'm sorry, I lost the plot, and it really doesn't matter. It's just, see, I'm with you on that. Like, you know, if Chris Cornell just woke up and decided today's it, that's his choice, man.
It's really easy for somebody on the outside to be like, all that money just can't buy happiness.
Oh, that was,
you know, I just can't believe somebody that's been to those tippy tops just couldn't quite get there again.
The tippy top.
No, he just.
It's not that.
It's not that in the slightest.
Absolutely. There's a show called the Crafty Rogues, and it's just a soccer podcast where these two guys sit down and talk. And it's fun. I like it. I enjoy it because I like the game of soccer, and I love people. I love listening to people that grew up with the game talk about it because they know more about it than I do, and it's fun. But they were talking about a man named Neil Lennon. He used to play for Celtic in Scotland. And Neil is like this North Irish hard man. Just this like crushing tackler, defensive midfielder, ball winner, stopper, team captain, won everything in the world because Celtic and Rangers rule Scotland. He was the man. He managed Celtic for a little while. I think he's back now. He managed Leicester in England for a little bit. And he's back in Scotland now, but I don't remember what team he's coaching for. But he came out and said that he was having a hard time with depression, and he was seeing somebody about that. And that's really cool, and it's neat because of the mythos around him of being Mr. Hardman and Mr. Tough Guy. They were talking about what a cool thing it was for him to do that. But I thought it was a very interesting thing. It's an Australian kid and North Irish kid that do the show. And they were talking about how so many people's immediate Twitter reaction was, well, what's he got to be depressed about? He's got all that money. It's exactly what you're talking about. And both of them, thank God to their credit, were like, get the F out of here. And I'm like, cool, at least y'all get it and you get it. And it's like, I love when that's the first place people go, hey, give me $1 million a year, I wouldn't ever be sad for nothing. Okay. You say so.
Yeah.
I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know situations you don't know nothing about. And that's my other thing about people killing themselves. I ain't never been at that spot.
Yeah.
I'm getting to trash somebody that gets to that spot. If I haven't been through that spot, I don't know how I would handle it. But even if I have been in that exact same spot, I'm not that exact same person. They get to deal with it themselves. Now, I'm totally with you. I think it's wrong to give people a hard time. But I really do genuinely feel bad. I always feel bad for the family that loses somebody. Yeah. But his wife is really upset, and I hate that. It's the different. Like we talked about Scott Weiland, where people are giving his. He said he just needed somebody there, and like you were saying, she was like, oh, "What do y'all think we did?
Who the hell are you?"
Exactly. It's like I'm totally with you on that.
So, what we're trying to make is Chris Cornell, Powers Booth are swirling in the heavens above us, and don't always try to blame somebody. It's not always somebody's fault that somebody's gone. Some people, just pass away, and just let that be what it is, and enjoy them while they're here. So
Yeah, well said, man.
that's
Go put on Temple of the Dog. It'll make you feel good.
and
Make you
that's
feel real good.
people were playing. I was never big into Soundgarden. They're all right.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way.
I like Audio Slave a lot better, but man, freaking Temple of the Dog, when him and Eddie get to singing together, that's just like some of the best stuff out of the 90s. And not everything's freaking Seattle.
Yeah.
To the point we were talking about earlier, it does feel like there are a lot of people from my teenage music world that are leaving us like one after another after another. I feel kind of like how my parents did at this age. Like there had to be, that feeling of like, I'm drawing blanks on everybody that would have passed away along that time. Like the Freddie Mercurys, the people of that era that they're like, man, these people are going off. But when you hear somebody pass away at 52, that wasn't. I didn't rush to. Oh, he must have killed himself. No, people are allowed to die at that age. I thought, well, this could have just been natural causes. Turns out it wasn't. But at the same time, it's like, there's just pointing fingers and causing blame. Just doesn't really do a whole lot of good.
I totally agree, man. And we will miss you, Chris.
Heck yeah. So, man, some more talking about downer news. One of the things I've heard since the last time we were talking together is apparently they've greenlit another Hellboy movie, which at first you would think, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah, my like wrinkled face is what you told me earlier, not the news itself.
I was one of the guys that went out to Walker Stalker in Atlanta this past October because Ron Perlman was going to be there. Like, hey man, how could you not be excited about another Hellboy movie? Because Ron's not going to be in it.
There you go.
They've greenlit the movie with no Guillermo del Toro, no Ron Perlman, which means no Jerry.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
No Jarwal's going to show up at that movie theater.
Because you've got the two movies and the two animateds, and the animateds, it's all the same voice actors. Even the people like who played the roles.
Those are good enough.
They were great. Yeah, there's 4 of them. There's 4 Guillermos, and that's cool. And I'm with you. Even if he just wanted to do a Ridley Scott and like produce it, executive produce, write a little something.
Have a hand in it.
Yeah, that's totally okay. But to just totally chuck the guy out the window, no thanks. It's all good. And him getting kicked off The Hobbit is what ruined those movies for me. That would have been so much cooler. I think that would have been Let me take that back. It's not what ruined it. I think what ruined The Hobbit was trying to make that book into 4 movies.
Yeah,
2 would have been fine. Some people say 3. I think you should have done part 1, part 2. And I hated those movies, and I hate to say that because I don't want to hate those movies, but I did. Martin Freeman was the greatest. He was awesome. That's why I watch him over and over again because just watching him do his thing is the best, man. But God, anyhow. But you find out that Guillermo del Toro was the guy that was supposed to come in and do The Hobbit, and it's like, God, I kind of would have liked to seen that.
Yeah. Guillermo's just one of those dudes that I'm kind of like, had no idea just how good he was until I started watching some of the stuff like, with the first Hellboy is the first thing I ever saw he'd done. Then you do Hellboy 2, Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, and I think he's one of those kind of guys where hopefully this story went, well, like, look, if we're not going to do it, then just let me go.
Yeah, I can see that.
We've been dragging our feet on this damn thing. And Ron Perlman's not getting any younger, for the fact of the matter. And the guy that's going to be Hellboy is one of the dudes from the Stranger Things show, and that's all fine and good. I'm just not down with it. I will... At the moment, I'm not going to see it. If they'd have to do a lot to win me over with a trailer for that. And I think it's got RoboCop 3 written all over it. No Peter Weller, no Paul Verhoeven. White Jay ain't showing up at that theater.
Yeah, it's just
White Jay's not buying a ticket and walking through that door.
For real, man. It's not happening, friendo. Like Masaba will stay at home.
So, and that's got to be some of the biggest news I know of that come out this week. And then we had the show tonight, so the rain's coming back down on us, so hopefully you can hear us again. I'll lean in a little bit for you. How y'all doing?
Yeah, we're gonna lean in here and yell our rear ends off so you can hear us over the rain.
We'll see how this goes. Hopefully we're not blowing out, your speakers.
Yeah, this
or
is
anything.
kind of crazy.
But we thought it passed over. It's apparently not. So we'll see how it works out. It makes it really hard to stay in the shot.
It sure I can't drink my beer all over.
Don't make me. We'll try, brother.
Hurry, I'm gonna lean back and have this because by golly, I got my prioritize.
I gotta breathe.
Yeah, for real. And then the next match was. Who kicked that show off? Roddy and Eric Young kicked the show off, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the hesitation is. Dug the crap out of it. I don't know why I'm sitting here thinking, trying to figure out what this is. It was awesome. I liked it.
Very good. I liked it way better than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, me too. Like from go, like the very first thing being Roddy wiping out Sanity. Like, oh, okay, that's cool.
As it kind of entered from the crowd.
Yeah.
And everybody was.
Oh my God! It's CM Punk. No, wait a minute.
No.
It's Roderick Strong.
Oddly enough, Roderick Strong was on the Jim Ross show.
Awesome.
This past week. I don't know if it was the most recent one, but it's the last one I heard, so it's a really cool interview. Go check that out. That has nothing really to do with the match whatsoever, but
It's
it was
still
kind of cool.
Any plug for JR is totally good. Barbecue and wrestling commentary, and he's the man. JR's the man. Boomer Sooner.
He showed up tonight. He showed up to do the next match.
The match
is the one you're going to be hearing a lot about.
Absolutely. That's
on the dang old internets and the YouTubes.
Yeah, it's the singles version of DIY and the Revival. I mean, it was good. You'll be hearing about that one a lot, man. It was very, 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 very impressive and a lot of fun. And I say that, and I feel bad to just gloss over Roddy and Eric because I'm with you. It was really good and really enjoyable. But holy crap, dude! It was. I'm so bad with those kids' names, man. It's Dunn and
Tyler Bate and Pete Dunn.
Yeah, Dunn and Bate. That's it, man.
It seemed like between the Roderick Strong and Eric Young match and the Pete Dunn and Tyler Bate match, even into the women's title match, everybody had like the secret amongst the locker room was who can do the craziest bump on the apron.
No kidding, man. Holy crap, dude.
Kept doing that crazy stuff that just makes me cringe every time I see it.
Yeah, there are certain things in pro wrestling that hurt me every time. Apron bumps, and I'll be honest with you, the most basic backbreaker. I've never known how people do that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like I saw Baron Corbin's not a guy that I put over very often, so I don't really like him. But he busted out a move for his arsenal a week ago, just a couple of weeks back on SmackDown, for nothing, just to work it in, man. It was a choke slam backbreaker. It looked impressive as crap. It looked awesome. Like, oh my God! I felt bad, but it looked great, man. But yes, I'm with you on apron bumps. Like, what is wrong with you?
Stop.
For real, stop! It's a 2x4, stop!
And that's by far, be probably one of the match of the year candidates that you'll hear the most about, and probably will win because I don't see too much stuff following that. It was very, very good. Go check it out.
I agree.
Without giving too much away, go look at that.
The best firefight spot. And I love firefight spots, but it is incredibly cool. I've never seen anyone do it before, and it was sweet. Very cool match.
This match, it made me feel almost like they really took to heart some of the Twitter war that came out this past week it started with something Rip Rogers had retweeted where he kind of was making a good point where he called the traditional independent wrestling match of flippy move, high spot, handshake of the Fight Forever chant, dive. And I thought don't take that stuff that personal, and laughed at it and thought it was really funny. Then it started something with Randy Orton and Bully Ray, and you're kind of like, who cares? Nobody's showing up to watch either one of those guys in a long time. They have before, but not anymore. So I felt almost like these guys kind of saw that tweet and was like, oh, we'll give you something to really tweet about come Monday morning or Sunday afternoon, whichever you choose. So I think that kind of had something to do with how hard they went tonight.
Yeah, I can see that. The strange thing to me about the flippy move high spot.
Yeah.
A, he ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
B, I like that match. So C, why the hell do I care? You know what I'm saying? If Rip Rogers doesn't like that match and I do, awesome. It just means we have a difference of opinion. But I don't see the need to have to defend liking the independent wrestling match. And for the love of God, Rip Rogers and Bubba Ray Dudley, you have to like it too. No, dude, that's ridiculous, man. I hate that stuff. I hate that stuff, man.
It's how Bully Ray got himself into the conversation was he posted a photo of him doing what they called the falling bus, his move off the top onto 3 guys in Ring of Honor, which was his 2 cents into the conversation. Which I see everybody's point of view. Just coming from Randy Orton is kind of like whatever. Who cares what you have to say?
Orton is just, it's actually wonderful pile-on for Randy, because that's all he can do anymore. That's all Randy Orton can do now is jump on the young guy's jock and hope they make him cool and relevant again. He's been doing, it's why he picked Bray Wyatt. It's why he's beating Baron Corbin for absolutely no reason whatsoever on SmackDown. It's just stupid. All that stuff is so dumb. I mean, he is so irrelevant. Yeah. And everybody knows it, but they just won't let it go. It's like, okay.
Yep.
But yeah, whatever, man. Mm-hmm. Last time I was on Randy's side was that idiot trying to give him a hard time for Randy Orton was rude to be at the gym. Well, you're a dick and you deserve to be treated like crap. Randy was right.
That's not the time or the place.
Yeah, I think that's garbage. I mean, it's a hard enough job as it is, man, and then you're expected to look that way. It's just funny that what people don't consider that actually takes a little bit of work. And I don't care what you're taking. I don't care what you're taking. Human growth hormone will do it for you. I mean, it will. But maintenance still matters. It still matters. That's work.
That alone's not going to do it.
Believe it or not, HGH will. You can take that junk and it'll improve your eyesight. It'll grow your hair back, makes your wiener longer. It's bizarre. But as far as just basic maintenance and keeping yourself strong enough to not kill people when you drop them, steroids are the ones that everybody thinks you just take and you're big. You're not. Steroids just make you impervious to pain. And you work out and work out and work out and work out and work out until your joints are like, that's enough of that, Junior. But HGH literally regrows cells. It's basically 70-year-old men still want to have sex. That's where HGH. Well, it started as Germans wanted Captain America in real life. And then the Russians developed it further, and then we brought it over, and it was like, you can make more money if you put it in sports. And there you go.
Yeah.
You have a culture that you make obsessed with what they look like, and you haven't put anything in their bodies at any price.
There's a bigger audience for that.
Absolutely. Oh my God, you make it cosmetic, you make it part of like the dietary supplement industry.
Yeah. There
is no industry like, you should look better. You should look like this. It's ridiculous. So that's exactly where that junk came from. And it's basically hardline, above-board pharmaceuticals that nobody should have, that everybody can have. That's pretty much what it is.
Good times.
So what?
Good times.
Oh, it's great times, absolutely, man. But still, Randy's trying to go to the gym and work out. But yeah, that's all good. That's the whole thing. It's just, I think it's ridiculous. I don't want WWE to be like the independents. I don't want the independents to be like WWE. It's fun when things are just unique. It's very, very cool. It's very cool. And WWE's got some good stuff. I think their weekly shows are awful. I don't watch Raw or SmackDown anymore because it's just way too much talking. But I appreciate that for WWE, that's what most people tune in for. That's what makes them what they are. That's what the fan base wants. That's totally cool. So me going over here and watching Ring of Honor instead, why? Why is WWE going to change what they do to get me to watch? They're not. That's stupid. That's silly, man. I think that's dumb. Just like what you like.
Yeah. And you had a women's title match that was really fun to watch. Didn't quite know where they were going to go with this one.
If you haven't seen it, watch it on mute. The only reason I say watch it on mute is because the crowd was so dead after the UK match.
It's hard to.
It took them a minute to get into it. It's real good, and eventually they get there. But it's like, man, if I was in that building, I'd probably be gassed too.
Yeah.
But it was sweet. Asuka and Ruby Riott and my girlfriend Nikki Cross. Oh God, I love her.
Now, honestly, I thought that this would. We're getting close to that time when the title might come off of Asuka, and I thought tonight was going to be the night, and I thought you could have a return match at SummerSlam, and then she'll go up to the main roster. But apparently, I think Ember Moon getting hurt really threw a monkey wrench in that plan, and they decided not to do it. So, we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening there. But still, is a good match to go check out, and a really fun one to watch.
Yeah, it's cool. I love Asuka. And I love Nikki Cross, not just because I love her, but because I like her work too. So Ruby's the wild card. I've only seen her a couple of times, and she was good. I really enjoyed all three of them. Thought they all did really good work. I liked it a bunch, man.
Held their own in that one and made it good.
Yeah.
And then a surprise to me when the NXT title match was after that. I just assumed that the tag match was on the pre-show. Turns out it wasn't. You had the Bobby Roode Hideo Itami match. That was, talk about another good one.
Yeah.
That's one to check out, and just for the entrances alone.
And for the entrance and the finish is wicked cool. Very, very, very cool. I'm a huge Tommy Kenta. I love that guy. I think he's great. And I'm very happy that I'm telling Jared, man, I'm very happy that he's in America now and he can show everybody just exactly how many of his moves CM Punk stole. And that seems mean because I really like Punk, but I don't worship Punk, and I'm a little bit over him. I'm a little bit tired of him. And the thing is this, man, if you're talking about that class in Ring of Honor, Joe's working in WWE now. They got the good one, but that goes back to that stick work thing. If the mic is all you care about, Punk is your guy, but I don't care about that stuff. It just doesn't matter to me. Anyhow, Bobby is just too good at his job. I say it all the time. It's true because I run the Miz down all the time, so he's overrated as hell. And I'm telling you, the second Bobby Roode makes the main roster, he better be on the other show. Because if you have Bobby Roode and the Miz on the same show, I don't care how much you like the Miz, you will see just how lacking he is.
It walked all over.
They have been trying and trying and trying and trying and trying to make him what Bobby Roode already is, man. Bobby Roode, I was telling Jared, man, Bobby Roode to me, it's not that Bobby Roode is what they want the Miz to be. Bobby Roode is what they've tried to convince you Randy Orton is. Bobby Roode is that level, crazy, amazing performer.
Yeah.
That just kind of stubborn heel, Tully Blanchard, genuine. Randy Orton couldn't get heat to save his life. And part of it's because the girls love him, and that's okay. When girls like you, it's hard to get heat.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode's a good-looking guy, too, and the girls sing his song. But you know what? They still boo him when he ducks out the ring because he understands that being chicken gets you heat, and it works.
Yep.
He is the man. For that role, he is the best natural heel in wrestling, period. We said it before the Nakamura match. We've been saying it for a while. I'll still stand by it.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens is that Austin hybrid. Kevin can do anything. But no matter how much of a heel he is, it's going to be hard not to pull for it because he's just kind of cool. Bobby can tick you off enough to where you boo him because you're supposed to, and then you enjoy him. And he's amazing. And then Itami, I just love because I love that guy. I like him getting a main event. I like him getting a big match. And I love them coming up with such a strong finish. Because then when you don't win, it's like, who's kicking out of that?
Yeah.
Makes Bobby look strong. It was perfect. I loved it. The match wasn't perfect. It was very, very good, but the finish was perfect.
Yeah, man. It was very good.
Yeah, buddy.
And I dug that a lot.
I'm with you, man.
And so remains to be seen, what are they going to do next? Are they going to have a return match for Hideo, or does he move on to the main roster? Does Bobby Roode move on? And I wouldn't think they would do that this soon. I think that the next big call-out will be after SummerSlam, between SummerSlam and at the end of the year. But you just never know.
It's strange. See, I'm very much with you on that because he's so ready. But at the same time, they didn't just call Nakamura up, but he was the last champ before Bobby won it, and you had that big call-up, so you give him a little time. It's cool, man. It's cool. Leave him there as long as you want to. I hate NXT call-ups because I miss them. Yeah. And when was the last good one?
It feels like we're getting to that time of year when it just feels like the main roster's having that injury bug again.
No kidding, man.
Where and that's a good thing that they have plenty of guys ready, so why not?
Seriously, everybody, taking a break after WrestleMania is not the worst idea. So everybody goes ham, training and going bananas and crazy for that show. It's like you might probably use a little time off, like summer vacation or something, man. Just give them a little break, man. Yeah. And then my thing about that would also be kind of cool, I think, is that's when you make the U.S. Intercontinental Championships matter more.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, if Kevin Owens should be the television champion. You should see that U.S. title all the time. Randy Orton, it's not Randy's fault. It's just the world title being defended on TV every other week is a stupid idea. It always has been. But the IC on TV all the time. The U.S. title on TV, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And Kevin Owens as your TV champ is going to be awesome. And that's the other one tomorrow night that's going to be awesome if they'll just leave them alone. Because God forbid you don't have AJ Styles job to Jinder frickin' Mahal to try to make somebody care about that match that no one cares about. Nobody cares. So it's like, okay. But AJ versus Kevin that's going to be sweet. If they'll leave him alone. For God's sake, don't put anybody else in there.
Yeah. That'd be a long shot. But man, the main event tonight that nobody expected to like as much as they did, and if you say you expected it, you're a liar, was Team DIY and Authors of Pain. And honestly, I had thought we'd missed the match. Turns out it was the main event and closed the show out. It was very good, very good. A ladder match.
I thought so too. I was really impressed. I mean, I know DIY's got fans everywhere for 100% justified reasons. They're awesome, so I totally get it. And I get that people want to boo Authors of Pain. I personally think the Authors of Pain take a lot of crap for unfair reasons, because quite literally it seems to me that a lot of people are just putting the Vince McMahon shoe on the other foot. Oh, they're big guys. I don't want the big, strong guys. Boo, I don't like them. Boo. Well, you know, I mean, they're not great. They're not going to do flippy move. But they're fun, and it's enjoyable. And also, you give a damn when they win. You wanted to see DIY win again real bad. And I don't mean real bad because you want to see DIY win because you want to see them win. But if a team that you genuinely don't like have the belt, you really want to see. It would be like Nakamura losing to The Miz for me. I despise The Miz. But if you have Miz beat Nakamura, of course I'm going to watch the rematch. There's value in it. I totally get it. I just, you know, and part of me does think Ziggler's going to beat him. I think it's kind of pathetic, but I just have a, don't ask me why, I just have a hunch, because Dolph hasn't won in forever, and that's just the kind of crap they do.
That's really, I just don't see the value in doing that.
There's no value in doing it, but they hate Nakamura. I don't care what anybody tells me. The second Nakamura got out from underneath the Triple H umbrella, he's done. They don't care. They don't have any use for him whatsoever. They only have him signed so he can't be in Los Angeles for New Japan. That's my point. There is no reason in it except that you just want to bury the guy and treat him like crap.
Yeah.
That's why.
So, well, we have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Check it out. If nothing else, if that happens, I'll probably just turn the show off.
Yeah, because the thing is, Ziggler's been overdue for so long, and that's the one.
Why is that the guy that you do
that's
that
the
with?
one you're going to pick. I'm with you. It's like, that's pathetic, because I mean, you know, Ziggler's entire raison d'etre for a year now has been like, make Miz look strong. Okay, give him the belt back. Make him look good now. Make Mike look good. That's what else has he done? That's all he's done. So now it's like, okay, Dolph, we'll give you that. That's pathetic. That's just a terrible choice. I hate it. And I hope that's not what they do. But at the same time, him lose again, where does it leave him? He's just in Bray Wyatt Neverland. None of it works.
Yep.
But Kevin and AJ, I don't care who wins. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally cool. I think that, on the other hand, I wish I could say the same about Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor, because that's like a dream match for me, except that you're not going to have Finn lose this early.
Yeah.
You're not going to have Finn go down. You're not going to have Finn lose again, so it's just another loss.
Yeah. It's okay for Bray to lose every freaking match.
Every match.
In a year, but Dolph has to beat Nakamura.
Dolph's done it for 18. No, my point, it's not Dolph Ziggler. It's it's beating Nakamura. They have no use for Shinsuke Nakamura. This is not a favor for Dolph Ziggler. They hate him even more than they do. Are you kidding me? You're the Miz's whipping boy for 18 months? No, they got no love for you at all. None. You know that guy with the hot wife, lose to him again. Okay. All right, guys, sure.
That's going to be the Adam Cole run-in, Blake Blair. I don't see that happening. I'm just joking.
I would love it.
That was the other thing that everybody was saying was going to happen. Oh, they're going to pan the crowd. He's going to be there. Why does anybody care if he's sitting there watching the show?
For real.
Who cares?
It doesn't matter, man. It don't mean nothing. Yeah, dude. It's just like,
we all know he's going to be there anyway, so what difference does it make?
He'll get there eventually. It's going to be fine. I do like the replacement in Bullet Club for him. I like that. I like them moving Marty in and, you know, elevating I mean, there is no Bullet Club has no leader, which I mean they all say that. Get out of here. If you've got the world championship, you're going to be viewed as the leader. AJ Styles can tell you all he wants, and he wasn't leader of the Bullet Club. You learned. I'm top guy. Top guy, did give it. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I would like to. It's cool. I'm trying to get back to where I just want to see him work, and that's the thing about Owens and AJ is who cares? It's really the way it should be with Bray and Finn too. As long as it's two people you like, it's fine. Because it's when you start seeing these guys you really like having to do jobs to nobody. You know what I mean? And it's even worse. I tell you what, I will give you one worse than Dolph Ziggler. Some of the guys with disease in their name, man. What is Sami Zayn? Why don't they just let him go? I mean, it's like, okay, Sammy, you're 5'9" and you weigh 170 pounds. Fight Braun Strowman 18 times. Then go to SmackDown, fight Baron Corbin 18 times. And that's the other thing that sucks is you have Corbin wrestle Randy Orton for no reason. He loses to him. Well, I wonder how he's going to get his heat back. We've already seen that. We've already saw it with Braun.
I thought that was one of the worst moves of the shakeup is, you know, not moving Sami Zayn to SmackDown, but moving Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to SmackDown. Just do one or the other. Don't do both.
I agree. I think it's a good idea to do one or the other. I think you're totally right, man.
If I had my choice, I would have left Kevin on Raw and moved Sammy. But you know,
me too.
Can't put that toothpaste back in the tube, bro.
Yeah, man.
So, but speaking of freaking main events, go watch the Team DIY and Office of Pain, and you'll see what we're talking about, and you know where they go from there. It's going to be really cool, I think, for both teams, just to see how that goes. So that's what's up with Takeover Chicago.
It was sweet, and like the man says, when you see it, you'll that's why it was last. But it's cool. I mean, it was a cool. I'm with you. It was a very cool show, man. It's Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. So this is why I don't watch the weeklies anymore, because I just hate the direction. But when I watch Ring of Honor, I'm sorry, it's true of Ring of Honor, but actually what I meant to say was NXT. I just like whatever they give me. I love it. It's just so cool. I don't get hung up on storylines, or I guess it's because there ain't no politicking in NXT. It doesn't happen. You don't have some over-the-hill piece of crap who's 15 years into a 10 years too long run. Well, I'm going to beat this new guy. And I'm going to beat this new guy. Oh, yeah, and this one. Oh, yeah, and this guy, too. All I can figure is they must have him losing the belt to Jinder tomorrow night. It's like, well, I'm taking as many scalps as I can along the way, brother. So, well, okay, I get that. But what a stupid, that is so dumb. The only thing worse than Randy Orton working with Jinder Mahal is the people they handpicked for Jinder to beat to get the heat up. Like, this is stupid, man.
Man, it's like, is there any worse pairing you could imagine for not only a main event for the title?
A match at all.
Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal.
It just does not roll off the tongue easily, does it?
My God.
God, it's rough. I agree. It's like, man, nobody.
Somebody should be fired.
I agree. And they know it, too, because every commercial you see, it's Nakamura. So they said how to promote it, but it's like, man, that's just plain bad. Because the last time you made a world title decision based 100% on marketing, you gave it to Bill, and that sucked. Everybody knows that sucked, man. Oh, it was the #1 tweet worldwide. Oh my God, fantastic! All right, you got Twitter. You got people using their thumbs for crap. Awesome. Garbage.
Man.
Garbage. But at least they give. If you get one good match per pay-per-view, it's okay. And I hope it'll be Kevin and AJ. Which is, I mean, leave them alone, it'll be great. It's great. Those guys can't miss. But I don't even know what else is on that show besides, Shinsuke and then poor Randy.
I have no idea.
All right, Randy, drag this mannequin around the ring. And Jinder might be great, but I just think it's stupid. I'm just with you. It's like, God, there was no forethought for this at all, was there?
It's not meant to be as big of a knock on Jinder as to make it sound. It's just those kind of things like, this is just way too soon. You know, why would... It feels booked and destined to fail, and that's why I feel, I guess, the worst about it is knowing that this isn't going to work.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so we just killed somebody else.
Yeah, for no good reason.
Yeah, and it sucks because what went down with Bray hurts Bray. And I mean, the loss for Baron Corbin, nobody's going to care because Vince loves Baron, so they'll just put it away. Because we've talked about that before, man. It's not the loss, it's if the loss matters when the loss matters. It just depends if Vince cares. Baron Corbin could lose for 2 years and he wouldn't care because he likes him.
Yeah.
But, we tried that title run with Kevin Owens, but it didn't really work out.
Yeah.
I thought, we discussed, I thought Kevin Owens' Universal title run was great. It's because of Chris Jericho. Look, if y'all just now waking up to how good Chris Jericho is, I'm sorry you've missed the last 20 years, but whatever, man. But it's like, nah, dude, stuff like that. Like you said, when they build stuff and design it to fail. Christian gets the world title for one day.
Yeah.
CM Punk's title runs before he was Mr. I have your attention now. Before he was Mr. Cult of Personality, and he was actually enjoyable to watch because he wasn't so sanctimonious and such a big crybaby. And I'm not talking about him leaving. I thought he left for the perfect reasons. It's just like, stay gone, brother. Stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. Don't take the bait, man. Let it go.
So oddly enough, Christian's title was taken off him by Randy Orton.
Of course it was, because that's the whole deal. It's just like, oh, God. I think that might have been where me and Randy got sideways. Yeah. I enjoyed Legacy.
That was a good run, but of matches between the two, but it just felt like, man, this is somebody in that position has the power to, even if they tell you to take it off, Chris be like, no, we shouldn't do this.
It's true.
And they would go with it. Christian doesn't have that stroke, but Randy did.
Absolutely not. Yeah, Randy said that. I think Randy's had the creative control from the second Triple H did the thumbs down and they kicked him out of Evolution. And creative control is one of my least favorite things. And it's like telling an actor they can write their own lines.
Yeah.
You can't do it. I hate it. I despise it. I can't think of anybody that's ever had like a creative control clause that was worth a darn. It always sucks. It always sucks, and it just becomes a wiener measuring contest. And Brock will throw his on the table, and that's why Randy had to lose to him. And that's my theory, is that because Randy did the job to Brock, now he just gets to call his shot till he don't want to.
Built in 6 years worth of just going through people.
Goodwill, yeah, man, because John's on vacation, so you gotta have Randy. If y'all think Randy Orton is on the same stratosphere, and I despise John Cena, but we're talking about marketing now, we're talking about t-shirts, we're talking about sales. Come on, ain't nobody up there. John's John. He's it. John and the Young Bucks, that's it. that's it as far as merchandise is concerned. Here's another one. Young Bucks gonna come to NXT. I hope never.
Yeah.
I hope never.
I just don't see that happening.
I mean, either, because my God, you'd have to.
Why would they?
You'd have to start printing money. Exactly. You better make it worth their damn while.
I think they'll end up getting one of those Hardy Boys type runs like towards the end when they decide that's the last place we haven't worked, and they'll do it. But there probably won't be anytime soon.
I hope not. Just because, what's the point? Why would you want to show up and be like, take the lesson from Sting. It's always going to be like that. It's always going to be like that, man, because that is one of the worst moments, one of the stupidest decisions ever.
Exactly what he worried would happen.
Yeah, and he got the big check, and I'm glad he got the big check and gets the action figures now, but it's like, and it's just so stupid because he goes out and cuts the promo. This is not about WCW. That's over. You guys won. This is about glass ceilings and you keeping guys down, and I got no time for that anymore, man. And then they come out, man, and Michael Cole, the war, the Monday Night was right back on. They just totally glossed over every promo that Sting cut. And John Bradshaw Layfield should have to give up his paycheck. He was god-awful in commentary on that, because the thing about being a heel commentator is this. You need to know the finish. Is when you lay it on that thick and just kill somebody and then they lose. That's just assy. That's just a stupid thing to do, man. Like, that was awful. And I like JBL, but that was just a stupid.
It makes you look dumb.
It does. It's terrible commentary. It's just like, that's just stupid, man. But that was an awful match. God.
Well, speaking of terrible calls, I think there was one tonight in the Hideo Itami Bobby Roode match. There was a Hideo Itami hits to go to sleep, and Bobby Roode rolls out of the ring so he can't get the pin. And wisely, Magnus, what's his name?
Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel McGuinness points it out. Says, that's smart of Bobby Roode to roll out of the ring. And some idiot gets in Percy's angle and says, I don't know if you meant to do that. It's like, you idiot.
Listen.
If you're going to say that, say, well, he was lucky.
The force of the blow knocked him out of the ring. He's right to the positioning of the movie. Whacked him so freaking hard he flew out of the ring. Yeah,
it's that like the mental capacity of Bobby Roode, or was he just lucky again?
Yeah, exactly. Was exactly.
Say that. I don't think he meant to do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
makes
stupid.
you sound stupid.
Like an idiot. I completely agree. That's what you do,
Perfect.
man. Leave it open ended. Go one way or the other because you've got. Nigel McGuinness is the heel announcer in that. He's supposed to give him credit for it. He is feeding you. Watch the bump. Yeah. Watch Bobby Roode's bump. He takes a Greg Valentine, Ric Flair unconscious on the floor. And that was supposed to be the spot, is that he hit him so doggone hard, he bounces, hits the rope, and flies out of the ring. Yeah. So I don't think you meant to do that. Well, explain what you mean, you freaking idiot. That was a terrible call. I forgot about that, man. I'm glad you mentioned that.
So, with that being said, and with Backlash to look forward to.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, I think I'm just going to rewatch Takeover. It was awesome. Backlash was awesome. Did you see Nikki Cross and Asuka and Ruby Riott? It was great. Wait, what? Was it?
What?
What? Sorry.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
Man, we will see you guys in the next
Take
one.
it easy, y'all.